Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Doxy, and today we are looking at the top 10 best ever One Piece moments according to IGN. And I know what you're thinking, IGN are pretty trash. They're very biased, they're wildly inaccurate with most of their takes, and honestly, who's going to trust them for an anime opinion? Now, I agree with you, but mildly recently, they did make a top 10 anime of the century video, and it wasn't horrible. So I'm putting my bias aside and I'm saying, look, let's give them a chance to go 2 for 2. Let's see if they can make a coherent One Piece list that maybe we can go, I kind of agree with that to a mild degree. And if not, then we can rip them a new one. So either which way, we're going to have fun all around. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you disagree with any of these opinions, then cool. Let me know in the comments, because I'm sure as hell we're going to say my opinions here. Go on then, IGN, please, shock me, make it good.
Pirate's sprawling adventure across the Grand Line has been a staple of anime ever since the late 90s. And with more than 1,000 episodes, it's fair to say that One Piece has had more than a few unforgettable moments.
You could say hundreds of them. Many hundreds of them.
From One Piece was an extraordinarily difficult task, and some tough cuts had to be made. But regardless, here are our picks for the top 10 One Piece moments as of episode 1088.
Okay, so it's up to date-ish then. That's pretty good. I imagine this is gonna have like a few moments that are like iconic.
The very nature of this video, there are going to be major spoilers for One Piece.
Obviously, yes.
We're holding nothing back here, but we will inform you before each entry what episode the spoiler covers, so you can skip the ones you haven't come across.
Okay, that's mildly good of them. I can't knock that. Fair enough. 37. That's Thriller Bark, right?
This moment is what solidified Zoro as badass of the Straw Hat crew. With Luffy exhausted from his battle with pirate warlord Moria and the Straw Hats being taken out by warlord Kuma, Zoro is left standing. Zoro, realizing he can't win against
Is this
Kuma,
the take on my injuries thing?
in exchange for Luffy's, to which Kuma agrees, but only if Zoro can take on Luffy's injuries.
Yeah, okay.
In this emotional moment, we realize the strong bond that Zoro, the pirate hunter, has forged with his crewmates, and that he is willing to give up his life to spare theirs.
This was an awesome moment, I can't lie. Like, I really did like this part. Thriller Bark was questionable, but this was good. Very good. Well, that was quick, okay. Oh...
Sanji has
one
one
of
of the
Zeph.
saddest backstories in all of One Piece. He just can't catch a break. Young Sanji could care less about pirates, especially Zeph, who was stranded on a deserted island with him. Nonetheless, the subtlety of Zeph's actions made for a heartwarming moment when Sanji finds out that Zeph sacrificed his own leg for him. The fact that Sanji thought Zeph was this horrible pirate this
He
whole
never
time,
was.
only to find out that he's one of the most selfless people he's ever met, is definitely one of One Piece's most...
Gave him all the food. Yeah, we love Zeph, man. I'm a massive fan of Zeph, I can't lie. Just purely for this moment. I liked him anyway, but this just cemented it for me. Oh, Wano.
The term fans have been throwing around leading up to the beginning of the end of the epic Wano story arc. It was only a matter of time before this confrontation happened, and oh boy, did the anime step it up.
Yeah, I like this as well. This was cool as hell.
But you can see how much love and care Toei put into the entire episode. From the entrance of the worst generation, to Luffy's stroll past the emperors, and Kinemon's heartfelt plea, you can feel emotions building up. Then they follow that up with the quick flashes of their journey up to that point, as far back as Raizo's safety and Pedro's sacrifice. Finally, we see Luffy's vibrant Red Rock punch, and we are booming in the background.
And we're straight in.
One of the biggest smackdowns in all of anime. It was only about 5 minutes, but that whole sequence locks you in and reminds us, the viewers, why we chose to be on this special journey with Luffy.
Absolutely, actually. Okay, IGN kind of cooking so far, and that really pains me to say. I don't like giving them credit, but I have to right now. Ah, Kuma again, yes. Okay.
The Sabaody arc is jam-packed full of game-changer moments, but there
underrated arcs about it.
Find who the Straw Hats are today, and that's at the hands of the stoic and overpowered Kuma. Up until this point, Luffy and the crew have overcome challenges with great difficulty, but there was no escape from the utter devastation that took place on the archipelago.
Kuma's such a great
Luffy knew they
character as
didn't have
well.
a chance, and he's not one to give up so easily. As he watches his friends begin to disappear, he yells out in desperation to escape, not knowing it was futile. When he's finally the last one standing, Luffy can't help but cry in agony for not being strong enough to save his friends. This is the first time we've seen our plucky protagonist so vulnerable. With the final disappearance of the Straw Hats, we're left in shock to only know that the Straw Hats will never be the same after this dreadful defeat.
Most likely not, no. Oh, Luffy. Don't worry, mate. You do a lot better going forward. I do want to say, though, that I remember when I first started watching One Piece and I met Kuma for the first time and I just didn't like him because at that point I thought he was really one-dimensional, and now obviously 1,000-odd episodes further forward and I know his backstory with the abuse and the experiments and Vegapunk and the daughter and all that kind of stuff. I do want to apologize to Kuma because he's not one-dimensional. He's actually a really cool character with a very sad story surrounding him. So yeah, sorry Kuma, I do love you really. Just wanted to put that out there. We're going to go back to the list now. But they're kind of cooking so far. Can't lie, I'm amazed. So far, I kind of agree with IGN. And again, like I said earlier, that hurts my heart to say. But there's still time for them to mess it up or make it better. Let's see what they got. Number 6. Don't be mad. 396, this is...
Without also mentioning the inciting incident that led to it. If there was a list for best, or at the very least, most cathartic singular punch in all of anime...
Is this where he punches the Celestial Dragon?
There isn't a single person with a beating heart who watched episode 396 that wasn't begging
right
to beat the heck out of St.
I just saw the subtitle, fair enough.
And when he finally did, man did Luffy make it count. Like most of the
this punch resonates with my soul.
So special is the build-up and ultimate payoff. We had spent the last few episodes learning why the Celestial Dragons are basically untouchable, and the serious
douchebags
that come with laying a hand on them. And yet, Luffy strikes him down anyway, without even a second
just
thought.
punch him again. It's just so beautiful, man. Like, that is so deserved. Good lord. I love it. Another punch. Ah. Oh no.
The sound of crying fills the air.
I realized what it was after I saw the...
through the back of Ace, taking his life in front of Luffy. In Ace's last heartfelt words, he thanks everyone for loving him as he dies on the battlefield. We feel the weight behind Ace's death, and we are stuck watching Luffy in shock, realizing...
I don't particularly want to relive this again, man. This was my favourite arc in all of One Piece. Like, Marineford is so goddamn good. Go Mary.
Aren't One Piece fans may find it weird to be emotionally attached to an inanimate ship, but anyone
Absolutely
who's
not.
seen the funeral of the Going Merry likely knows what it's like to shed tears over a dying love. The way the focus shifts from crew member to crew member as they each relive their own introduction to the Merry, and then they hit you with the emotional gut punch of the disembodied voice of the Merry saying, "I'm sorry, I wish I could have taken you further."
You done great.
Just thinking about it. And then they
it's horrible.
who had been holding his shit together up to this point, utterly breaking down, apologizing for every small thing he did to the ship. It all adds up to one of the most heart-wrenching moments in all of One Piece.
This is such a painful scene, man. When I first saw this scene, I was watching it with my other half, and I did not shed a tear. It almost got me, like I could feel myself welling up a little bit, but my missus was like full on having a breakdown, and I'm not trying to throw her under the bus, it's actually quite sweet, but like genuinely we were watching it and we were miserable for the next like 2 hours, and even watching it back now I was like, god damn it, I forgot how much that scene hurt, especially right after like showing me Ace as number 4 or number 5, sorry, and then Going Merry as 4. Like, it's just emotional then emotional then emotional. Like, this list is gonna hurt me. Right, number 3. Can this not be emotional? No, it's the Nami scene from Arlong Park. Fair enough. Good lord.
The scene with Luffy and Nami during the Arlong Park arc had one of the most defining moments for the Straw Hat
This
crew.
was a cool moment. I'm not a Nami fan, but I did like this.
At this point, we've known Nami as a scheming, confident woman who can take care of herself, but her dire situation with the Arlong pirates brings her to tears as her family and friends prepare to fight to the death. Seeing Nami drop to the ground in despair, screaming in anger as she attempts to cut up her despised Arlong tattoo, is one of the most heartbreaking scenes in anime. It's at this moment
Don't do that to a tattoo, by the way.
That's calm.
Horrible scar tissue.
With the last ounce of Nami's stubbornness whittling
Oh,
away,
don't do it.
she finally says to Luffy,
Eee.
"Help me." This iconic moment, followed by Luffy's gesture of giving his treasured straw hat to Nami with a resounding "Of course I will," is why Luffy and this wonderful
And then gives her the hat and cinema. Number 2. Ah, yes, Gear 5. This was awesome when I first saw this too.
Though its place in this list might be controversial, Gear 5 was an event so big that it took over the internet, and for good reason. To say that Gear 5 is the perfect culmination of Luffy's journey so far would not be an understatement. And
No,
the proper
yeah, I agree.
circumstance in which the transformation debuted should show that the creators of the anime feel similarly. Luffy's delightful romp around Onigashima in Gear 5 was not only a joy to behold from an animation standpoint, but one that also marks Luffy's all-important ascension into the fabled Joy Boy. A moment that both tastefully encapsulates all that has occurred, as well as foreshadows the coming epic in Luffy's final step in becoming the King of the Pirates.
Do I put this at number 2? I mean, it depends on the measuring stick, because this was awesome, but if it's best moments, then yeah, I guess I can understand why it's number 2. If it's most emotional moments, then obviously the last 3 before it would be way ahead of it, but if it's overall like this was awesome moments, like how well done something was, then yeah, I can see this being number 2. I'm still agreeing with it so far, and I'm shocked, but still agreeing. Number 1. Oh, okay. This is a choice.
This moment is the payoff that we had been waiting for what felt like 100 episodes.
CP9 and all
Ever
that.
Since she left the Straw Hats without saying a word out of fear of losing her friends, like she lost her family on Ohara, we, along with Luffy and crew as well, had been waiting for Robin to do something, anything, to show some sort of resistance to the ruthless and Weasley spandom. That moment finally comes in episode 278, where, upon gazing at her captain and crewmates on the other side of Enies Lobby, and seeing that they're willing to go to war even with the world government if it means having her in their lives, Robin finally responds to Luffy in one clear voice.
As you deserve to, Nico. This was powerful, I can't lie.
Luffy needed.
That was a powerful
And that's our
moment.
list. Here are some other amazing
Oh, go
moments
on.
that
Honorable
almost made the
mentions.
cut. Usopp vs. Luffy.
Well, yeah, to a degree.
Usopp's return.
Yes.
Episode 663. Bon Clay's sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Episode 51, Sanji vs. Luffy. Episode 808. And Zoro's fight with King.
Oh, that
Episode
was phenomenal
1063.
too.
What were some of your favorite moments in One Piece? Let us know in the comments. And
Do you know what? I'm going to say this. Thank you, IGN, because I actually agree with the majority of that. But I can't be all positive. I have to have a negative because that's just me. I would have put Bon Clay's sacrifice in the top 10. Only because when I first watched it, I thought it was so well done. I thought it was just really well written. Like the whole, I'm staying so you guys can escape. Especially for someone like Bon Clay, who, as much as he's a bit of a nut job, he's very lovable, and it was just a very big moment, and the conversation between them over the little snail phone thing, which I've forgotten the name of, was just, it was so well done, so powerful. So I would have probably put that in the top 10. The only issue is I don't know what I would have taken out. Like, I've said my thoughts on Gear 5 being number 2. Nico Robin being number 1, I kind of feel stupid that I didn't see, because honestly, that is the most obvious choice for being number 1. Either that or the Nami, you are my friend thing with the hat. Like, those are iconic moments, but for some reason my brain didn't comprehend that that would be number 1. That's on me, I'm an idiot. But overall, I'm kind of digging it. Like, IGN, maybe you're redeeming yourself a tad. Maybe your takes are getting a little less hot, because this was pretty good. I actually enjoyed watching it. I agreed with most of it, and I want to know if you guys agreed with it. So please, if you would be so kind, let me know in the comments if you agree with this list, or if not, what you would take out and what you would put in, because I love hearing you guys' opinions. But as always, that's all we've got time for today, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you've reached this part of the video, then evidently you enjoyed the video, or you enjoy my content in general, so hey, why not subscribe while you're here? And until next time, I've been Doxy, you've been beautiful, and I'll see you soon for more anime content. Peace out, lovelies.